Hello, once again an update. Those two buildings down there, I just did that first course an hour ago. It takes so little time. The first course of pallets. The closer of those two is 8 by 12. The next one is more or less 7 by 8. There's going to be a gate between them, and in a way they function like fence posts. This bathhouse, or no, the pump house, I'm not sure if I had filmed that or not. Andy and I the other day put the first course on that and fastened it. Okay, but really what I want to do is show you the developments. There, that looks a little better. I'm centered up now. The mistake I made had to do with the 6 inches at the top. These rafters are different lengths by 6 inches, and somehow I got confused with that. The plastic that's wrapped that is very thin. The billy goat tore it in one spot with his horn, but it's no big deal. That's called silage or ensilage wrap. I don't have the horizontal. Some of the structural trim is still not on there, but anyway, I'm going to go down there now. Well, there you can see a little bit more of that structural trim, the rail midway up. Now it's just sitting there. It's not even tacked in. The braces are screwed a little bit, not very much, because I just tack things and I look, and I didn't do the rest of the rail because it was going to have to. It wouldn't sit. It has to, you know, it would fall. So I'll cut them and tack them in place too, just to study. Perhaps this angle is worth looking at. I've been letting the boards run out up there on purpose because I think I can use them somehow to support the last pair of rafters. The gable end, I've not decided exactly how I'm going to frame that gable end. Maybe tomorrow I'll get that figured out. My water supply quietly doing its thing. Very little water here. I can get more, but it goes dry in the summer. Okay, we're gonna go. Well, before we go in, I settled on the fasteners. They're roofing screws, self-tapping roofing screws, 2.5 inches long. But this, as I say, is just sitting there, and I didn't do that one yet. These doors, see the stop becomes structural. Same thing on the window. Now I want you to see this. This is going to be my solution for the spacing will be a little different, but. Those are 1 by 3 oak, and that spruce, which I paid so little for, is very light. And again, almost nothing is nailed. Everything's just kind of laying on itself. But you get a little bit of the feeling of shelter already with the plastic on. And I guess my stairs, my ladder will be here, I guess. Either here or in that corner. Not sure. Alright, this is the spruce floor, and it will be my floor. It's not nailed, and it doesn't even quite lay flat because I use duplex nails. It was so cheap because it wasn't quite 8 foot long, 35 cents a board foot, which means that this whole floor, inch thick, will cost about $35 about. Now my rafters now are cut right. I had to recut them. You know, when I had company here, I think I was working too fast and I wasn't thinking so clearly. I forgot to put the cleats on these rafters, so I'll have to nail the cleats on, and then I can, let me duck under here. Then I can set some pallets in and see how that looks. The building still sways a little bit because the braces are just barely tacked in place. But I'm very content with it. I think it's going to work just fine. And when I stood up here and I realized that my head's outside the building, you can't stand up in this upstairs. I decided for sure I'm going to put a skylight here that can slide back, so I'll be able to, or somebody will be able to stand up and look around when he gets up in the morning or whatever. Maybe I should remind you viewers that I had set out to build this building for less than $100, but the 3 pieces of plywood on the first floor down below cost almost $100. Then I thought, so I started to build more. So now I think it's, not counting labor, but I think it's quite reasonable that for $300 in material, this building could be built. It's almost 100 square feet, now if you had to buy pallets, you can buy them here for $1.50 a piece. It takes about 50 pallets, so that adds $75 to it. I still haven't paid anything for a pallet. Right down there is where I'm going to build. Well, it's going to look like little gatehouses. Actually, they're going to support the hinges for the gate. And maybe one other thing to show you before I go on down is that now I have those pallets laying pretty much in the right spot for the wind and water wheel maker's shop or dwelling, and over there will be his shop, and those two will be almost exactly the same as these two, although I've learned some things. And you know, they mark the place, and once I've found a place, the next step is going to be establish level, and then it goes pretty fast. All right, I have one more thing to show you, I guess, and then that'll be the update. This is the other thing I wanted to show you. This row of pallets is not going to be a building, but rather a fence. But it'll be a fence and shelves, and it'll be roofed. And this right here in the corner, I'll make this, that's 40 by 48. I'll make that one 2 ranks high, so it'll be a little bit like a watch house. And then down there, I'll also continue the fence down to the blacksmith shop in a similar way, and then it will hinge on the 2 sides. It will act as hinges for gates. So, you know, I've got blocks left. By the time I'm done leveling this up, I think I will have used all of my old blocks and bricks, and I probably also will have used all of my old lumber that's laying around. All right, I think that's probably all I have to show you now.